Before the dawn breaks, before the first golden thread of sunlight stretches across the quiet sky, there is a sacred silence that hovers over creation. The stars still shimmer faintly, as though reluctant to leave the gaze of heaven. The wind is gentle, the earth breathes softly, and in that stillness the heart of Jesus burns, not as an image nor as an idea, but as a living fire that never fades. A fire that has watched centuries rise and crumble, kingdoms come and go, souls wander and return, yet it has never ceased to beat with love. That heart, divine, radiant, wounded yet unbroken, calls to the weary. It calls to the soul that hides behind smiles. It calls to the one who prays in silence and the one who no longer remembers how to pray. In the quiet hour before morning, heaven leans close, and the whisper of that heart is heard. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And so begins the journey, the return to the Sacred Heart. O Sacred Heart of Jesus, blazing with eternal love, fountain of unending mercy, I come before you now, not as one worthy, but as one wounded. I come not to impress you with words, but to rest in your gaze. For in your eyes, O Lord, there is no rejection, no cold distance, only compassion that flows like light through stained glass, touching even the darkest corners of my soul. You are my refuge when storms rise within me. You are the quiet flame that does not consume but purifies. The fire that transforms the ashes of my weakness into the soil of grace. When I am tired of pretending to be strong, let me fall at your feet. When my prayers feel like whispers lost in the wind, let me remember that you hear even the silence. When my heart feels heavy with failure, may I see your wound, open, eternal, reminding me that mercy has already gone before me. O Sacred Heart, furnace of divine love, take my human heart and press it against yours until it learns again how to beat with faith. Melt away my pride, my fear, my anger, and everything that keeps me distant from you. Let my soul drink from the fire of your tenderness, and let every drop of that love become my strength. Jesus, Heart of all hearts, you who carried the cross, not with complaint, but with compassion. Teach me that true love is not comfort, but sacrifice. Teach me that to follow you is to give when it hurts, to forgive when it costs, to love when it's easier to close the door. When the world grows cold, let your warmth live in me. When bitterness rises, let your sweetness prevail. When shadows of doubt whisper that I am unworthy, let the memory of your pierced side answer. You are loved still. O my Jesus, in this life filled with noise, may your heart be my silence. In this age of rush and restlessness, may your heart be my stillness. Let me live, not for the applause of men, but for the quiet approval of heaven. Let my soul burn with a love that no wind of fear can extinguish. Sacred Heart of Jesus, I adore you, not with a perfect heart, but with a hopeful one. Not as a saint, but as a seeker. Not because I understand you fully, but because I have felt your mercy touch me where understanding failed. You are the fire that calls me out of indifference, the light that reveals what I hide, the hand that lifts me when I have fallen again and again. O Jesus, if you were only a God of justice, I would tremble. But you are the God whose justice is mercy wrapped in love. Let the flame of your heart burn through the walls I have built, the walls of self-pity, the walls of shame, the walls of unbelief. Let nothing remain between my soul and your presence. For only in you, O Lord, does my heart find its true rhythm, beating not with fear, but with peace. O Jesus, King and center of all hearts, reign in me. Reign not with the power of force, but with the power of love. Take my thoughts, cleanse them. Take my desires, purify them. Take my will, bend it until it bows to yours in joy, not resignation. Let your Sacred Heart be the compass of my every step, the reason behind every word, the breath behind every prayer. When I rise, let it be with gratitude. When I fall, let it be into your mercy. When I speak, let my words echo your gentleness. When I am your heart beats in the Eucharist, in the suffering, in the lonely, in the poor, in the humble, and even in those who have forgotten you. O Heart of Jesus, too often we pass you by. Too often we see only symbols, and forget that behind every statue, every prayer, every image, there is you, alive, aching, and loving. Forgive us, O Lord, for the times we loved you with words but not with lives, for the prayers we prayed without faith, for the promises we made and broke, for the mercy we received and withheld from others. Forgive us for every moment your heart was open and ours was closed. The fire of your heart, O Jesus, is not only a comfort, it is a call. It calls me to rise from complacency, to move beyond the shallow waters of routine faith into the deep, where trust is tested and love is refined. It calls me to see that holiness is not perfection, but surrender. That sanctity is not the absence of struggle, but the courage to bring my struggle into your light. When the cross feels heavy, remind me, Lord, that it is not meant to crush me, but to carve me. Every wound, every disappointment, every unanswered prayer is a chisel in your divine hand, shaping me into something eternal. You, O Sacred Heart, know what it is to be pierced, not only by a soldier's spear, but by the ingratitude of men, by the indifference of those you loved. Still, you love them. Still, you love us. Still, you open your arms each morning to a world that forgets you. How mysterious is this love, a love that bleeds and yet blesses, a love that suffers and yet saves. It is a love that looks upon our sins, not with condemnation, but with compassion. The love that turns betrayal into redemption, despair into resurrection. Let me learn from that love, Lord. Let me love when I am wounded, forgive when I am betrayed, hope when I am disappointed. Let me never grow tired of mercy. Let my heart reflect yours, even if faintly, a small flame mirroring the eternal fire. Sacred Heart of Jesus, I consecrate myself to you anew, not with empty ritual, but with living devotion. I place my family, my friends, my enemies, and my own restless spirit into the shelter of your divine compassion. May your heart be the home we never lose, the refuge we never outgrow. When the world demands that I fight for myself, teach me to rest in you. When my plans crumble, remind me that your will is not a chain, but a pathway to peace. When I lose what I thought I needed, open my eyes to see what you have placed in its stead. Something eternal, something unseen, something divine. O Heart of Jesus, my refuge in temptation, my strength in weakness, burn away in me every attachment that is not from you. Let me hunger not for comfort, but for closeness, not for recognition, but for relationship, not for fleeting happiness, but for holy joy that remains even in sorrow. You have waited for me through every season of wandering. Through every night I turned away, you watched for his prodigal child. How many times, O Lord, have you come to me in the quiet moments I ignored? That the tears you welcome are not of shame, but of release. That you do not humiliate the sinner who kneels. You heal him. Sacred Heart of Jesus, lover of souls, I lift before you all who are far from faith, those who have forgotten your name. Sacred Heart of Jesus, blazing Sun of mercy, silent ocean of compassion, I come before you now not only to adore but to offer. All that I am, all that I have, and all that I hope to be, I lay it upon the altar of your heart. Take, Lord, and receive. Take my thoughts, restless, wandering, too often chained to earthly noise, and make them still in you. Take my desires, tangled, impulsive, and fleeting, and purify them in your flame. Take my fears, the invisible walls that I build around my soul, and break them open with your. It lives because you breathed into it. Let it not beat for vanity, but for virtue. You place the prodigal's head upon your chest and call him beloved. This, then, is the mystery of your Sacred Heart, that love could be so infinite, yet so intimate. that the same heart that governs the stars listens to the smallest sigh, that the same flame that burns in heaven lights a candle in every soul that says yes. Let me be one of those souls, O Lord. Even if my yes is small, even if it trembles, let it be real, let it be constant, let it echo through every day. You give me until the end of time. For what greater honor is there than to live loved by you? What greater joy than to be consumed by your fire and reborn in your mercy? O Sacred Heart, teach me to love you, not only in joy but in sorrow, not only in peace but in the storm. Teach me to see your beauty even in the breaking, your nearness even in the silence. For even in Gethsemane, when the world slept and darkness gathered, you did not flee. You knelt in agony, alone, bleeding, trembling, and still you said, "Thy will be done." That whisper shook the gates of hell and lit the dawn of salvation. If ever I am called to my own Gethsemane, grant me that same grace. Let me not run from the cup, but trust that even bitterness becomes blessing in your plan. Let me remember that every cross carried in faith becomes a seed of resurrection, that every tear offered in love becomes light in another's night, that every yes uttered in weakness echoes in eternity. So I kneel before you, Lord, not asking to be spared from pain, but to be sanctified through it. Not asking that the road be smooth, but that my heart be steadfast. Not asking to understand everything, but to trust you in everything. You who are the heart of all hearts, the pulse of all creation, the love that never fades, write your name upon my soul. When I breathe, let it be in rhythm with you. When I act, let it be in harmony with your will. When I love, let it mirror your tenderness. When I die, let it be in your arms. For to live in you is heaven begun, and to die in you is heaven fulfilled. The promises of the Sacred Heart. There is a promise written not on paper but in blood, a covenant sealed not by ink but by wounds. It is the promise of your Sacred Heart, O Jesus, the eternal vow that love will always have the final word. You said, "Behold this heart which has so loved men." A heart that gave without measure, that bled without bitterness, that forgave without end. This is not human love, this is divine fire disguised as tenderness. And from that fire came the promises you made to those who would honor your heart, trust your mercy, and live in your grace. Promises not to make life easy, but to make it holy, not to remove suffering, but to redeem it. You promised peace, not as the world gives, but as heaven breathes. A peace that remains when the storm howls, that holds steady when everything else shakes. Peace that does not depend on circumstance, but flows from the certainty that you are near. You promise grace in the sacraments, the living river that flows from your side. Baptism washing the soul white as light. The Eucharist feeding us with eternity itself. Confession restoring the fallen with the same hands that once raised Lazarus from the grave. You promised families who honor your heart would be blessed, that homes built on prayer would not crumble under pressure, that hearts united in your love would outlast any trial. For where you dwell, discord dissolves, and what is wounded begins to heal. You promised that sinners who turn to you would find mercy, that no scar is too deep, no story too far gone. You promise that even the hardest hearts can be softened when touched by the flame of your compassion. And you promised, above all, that those who trust in your Sacred Heart would never be abandoned, not in life, not in death, not in eternity. These promises, Lord, are not mere words. They are the lifeblood of faith. They are the constellations by which the soul navigates through night, the hand that reaches into despair and pulls it into dawn. How can I not trust such a heart? Even when prayers seem unanswered, you are working in silence. Even when doors close, you are opening ones unseen. Even when the cross grows heavy, you are walking beside me, carrying more of it than I ever will. There are times, Lord, when I have doubted your timing, times when I mistook your mercy for delay, your wisdom for absence, your testing for punishment. But looking back, I see you were never late. Every delay was protection. Every silence was preparation. Every unanswered prayer was an invitation to trust deeper. You are the sculptor of the soul. You chip away not to destroy, but to reveal beauty hidden beneath. You prune not to harm, but to make fruit flourish. You wound only to heal, for the fire of your heart refines, it does not consume. So I surrender again, Lord, not half-heartedly, but wholly. Not as a reluctant servant, but as a child returning home. Take my plans, my fears, my striving, burn them in your flame of mercy. Let nothing remain but love. I offer you my heart, small, imperfect, but yours. Let it beat in unison with yours. When it falters, strengthen it. When it grows cold, rekindle it. When it breaks, mend it with your own hands. Let my life become a living prayer. Each breath a whisper of Jesus, I trust in you. Each act a reflection of your kindness. Each suffering a seed of compassion. Each joy a song of gratitude. And when I speak your name, let it not be habit, but hunger, not formality, but fire. For your name is not merely a word, it is a wound that heals, a light that pierces darkness, a mercy that never ends. I believe, Lord, that in your sacred heart there is room for all, for saints and sinners, for the faithful and the lost, for the strong and the broken. The gates of your mercy stand open, and the only thing that keeps us out is our own pride. So break every barrier within me that resists your grace. Tear down every wall that hides my heart from yours. Let humility be the key that opens the door, because when I finally stand before you, not as I pretend to be, but as I truly am, it will not be my achievements that save me, but your mercy that embraces me, and then I will understand what I only glimpse now, that every wound, every loss, every unanswered prayer was leading me not away from you, but toward you, that every road of sorrow was secretly paved with love. O Sacred Heart, I do not need to see the full plan, only to stay close to the one who holds it. If I have you, I have everything. If I lose you, I have nothing. So keep me, Lord, in your light, in your will, in your love. The night is long, but not endless. The darkness deepens, yet within it burns a pulse, faint, steady, alive. It is your heart, O Jesus, the furnace of divine love that never cools, never dies, never ceases to give light. And here I am again at the edge of myself, kneeling before that eternal flame. The world has taken much, but it cannot take this, the unbreakable thread between my heart and yours. O Sacred Heart of Jesus, you are the sunrise that never fades. You are the peace that does not depend on circumstance. You are the still point in a spinning world, the mercy that never runs dry, the home that never closes its door. The saints found rest here. The martyrs found courage here. The lost found their way home here. And I, weak, weary, unworthy, I too find my refuge here, in you. When my voice trembles in prayer, you hear it as music. When my faith flickers like a candle in the wind, you shield it with your hand. When my sins weigh heavy, you lift them with a sigh of forgiveness. How strange and beautiful, that the Almighty would love so tenderly, that the Creator would weep for His creation, that the Infinite would dwell in a heart of flesh. You could have chosen power, but you chose vulnerability. You could have ruled through fear, but you reign through mercy. You could have stayed beyond reach, but you came close enough to be wounded. Every drop of blood that fell from your side became a seed, and from it grew redemption. Every tear you shed watered the soil of our souls until even the barren places began to bloom again. And now, across centuries, your love still reaches. Through the sacraments, through scripture, through silence, through the quiet voice that whispers in the heart of every believer, come to me. So I come, Lord. I come with my doubts and my devotion, my failures and my faith, my scars and my surrender. I come not as the perfect, but as the forgiven, not as the worthy, but as the wanted, not as the saint, but as the child who finally believes that home was never lost. You call me to trust, not partially, not conditionally, but completely, to rest not in my own strength, but in yours, to love not in fear of rejection, but in assurance of redemption. I have prayed for miracles, but now I see. The greatest miracle was your heart itself. Because who could imagine a love that would rather suffer than let us go? Who could comprehend a God who, when pierced, still forgave? You are the God who walks with the broken, who blesses the poor in spirit, who sits beside the grieving and whispers, "I am still here." The Sacred Heart is not only a symbol, it is a story. The story of God's own heartbreaking, so ours could be healed. And that story still unfolds in every soul that says yes to love. So let this be my yes, Lord, here, now, and forever. Yes to your mercy. Yes to your plan. Yes to the mystery of faith that sometimes hurts but always heals. Yes to the fire that purifies more than it burns. Yes to the cross, because it always leads to resurrection. Consume me, Sacred Heart of Jesus, until nothing of self remains, only you. Let my words be your truth. Let my thoughts be your wisdom. Let my actions be your compassion. Let my silence be your peace. When the world wounds me, teach me not to retaliate, but to forgive. When the path is hidden, teach me not to panic, but to pray. When the night grows thick, teach me not to curse the dark, but to wait for dawn. Your fire burns even when unseen. Your mercy flows even when undeserved. Your grace sustains even when unrecognized. O Heart of Jesus, make my heart a living tabernacle for you. Let each heartbeat echo eternity. Let each breath praise your name. And when my final hour comes, when the body falls silent and the soul begins its journey, let me fall into the arms of mercy I have loved all my life. Let my last whisper be your name. Let my final sight be the fire of your heart. Let my eternity begin not in fear, but in awe. For then I will see, as face meets face, that love was never lost. It was leading me home. That every ache, every prayer, every tear was gathered in the chalice of your compassion. That you were never far, you were within. So now, Lord, I end this prayer not with an ending, but with a beginning. A renewed vow to live every day in the flame of your love, to see every soul as yours, to forgive as you forgive, to love as you love, to burn without being consumed. May the Sacred Heart of Jesus be my refuge in sorrow, my strength in temptation, my light in darkness, my song in silence, my heaven on earth, and my eternity beyond time. Forever and forevermore. Amen.